All right, so hello everyone. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for sticking with us if you've been here part of the day or all of the day. We are in our semifinals match. We have Michael DeGrave on the Landstill deck up against Nathan Marhefke.
Marhefke.
Thank you. On Parfait Oath. I'm Michael Heup. I'm here with Brian Kowal in the booth. Say hi, BK.
Hi, BK.
All right. So, you know Nathan. You helped him kind of
Handed him a 75.
Handed him a 75. He had a few reps with it last night. I know. I was here setting up shop.
He had
was
enough
practicing.
to claim all credit for it.
Did we confirm? Because Nathan said earlier he said last night that he was going to find a place to eat parfait this morning. Otherwise, he had to audible to a different deck. So
he must have that, right? He wouldn't be lying to us.
Or he's not a man of his word. I don't know. I don't know the integrity of Nathan. You know him better than I do, but
he seems like a pretty stand-up guy. I don't think he would pull the wool over my eyes like that.
So, yep, people talking about the brain freeze. Is there a brain freeze in the sideboard?
There is a brain freeze in the sideboard.
All right, you kept that one in. So,
yeah. There's a few cards on the board I never go for.
I don't know. This is
probably
a
one of
matchup
them
where brain freeze can come into play.
Yeah.
So
good old no guys busting control.
I mean, if you think about it, if there's a bunch of lands in play, which I don't know how often the Parfait Oath really overcommits its lands, but if there is any kind of counter war and you can find a spot to Cunning Wish for brain freeze, then you could get it for 12, 15 cards. Yeah. So.
And that might even be what matters to that game.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that Parfait Oath is particularly good about is answering threats. And so, I mean, it might be a little bit more difficult if there's a bunch of counterspells from Michael, but if you're able to kind of get rid of the threats of the Landstill deck, then you can find a spot where you can just brain freeze for a small amount and might be able to just deck them.
Yeah, sometimes 12 cards is enough,
The Parfait Oath is playing the Cunning Wish. There's a couple copies in the main, and it has access to a bunch of different...
A whole toolbox.
Yeah, a toolbox. A well-calculated assortment of cards.
He's got...
What's the spiciest thing he can get with a Cunning Wish from the sideboard? Is there something really exciting, especially for this matchup?
Forgive Find. I don't know. Oh, that's not his deck either. Oh, that is. Okay. He can get Brain Freeze, Orm's Chant.
Okay.
Pyroblast. Abolish. Engineered Plague.
Okay.
I
don't think he can Cunning Wish for Engineered Plague.
Mike. Ray Revelation. Argivian Find. Plenty good stuff.
Yep.
Probably kind of a good list of cards. I kind of want to put a Forbid on the board.
Okay.
Especially seeing Sam play it. Look good.
All right, looks like players are finally kicking things off. Players are looking at their hands and settle in for what we expect to be a long match. I mean, neither of these decks are particularly aggressive. Looks like Nathan is sending his initial hand back. He's going to look for a better hand.
I think Parfait Mulligan's a little bit better than Landstill, probably.
Yeah,
I'd say both.
I mean, anything with land tax, I think, can mulligan fairly well, because if you just end up with a hand with one land and land tax, you kind of undo a mulligan. So I would agree that that Nathan can mulligan a little more.
Well, it sounds like they use ice cream for parfaits in Europe. Well, wherever he's.
I mean, what were the ones at Dairy Queen?
Ice cream.
Okay. I mean, we do that here.
I didn't know what the yogurt ones forever.
That was, I don't know. The only interactions I have with Parfait is from Magic and then also from Shrek. Donkey talks about Parfait. And that's about all the interactions that I have for Parfait. And I think at the time when I saw Shrek, I was thinking it was ice cream. But I feel like all the other times I think it's yogurt. I don't know.
Tormod and Shrek? What does he say about it?
He says something about Parfait. I don't want no damn Parfait. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I remember it. I don't know if chat can. Am I crazy? All right. We got planes and then Mox Diamond. Mox Diamond is ditching the archaeological dig. Michael's got to read that one. He says, I'm not sure what that is. But it's in the graveyard anyways, so.
It's getting Enlightened Tutor.
What are you finding here? Land tax?
I'd guess Land Tax.
You guessed correctly.
Although Sylvan Library is not bad either.
Yep. I mean, so he'll draw the land tax. Presumably he's going to cast it. I don't know, unless maybe you're afraid of, like, I mean, do you care if your land tax gets countered? Oh, he's going for a scroll rack right away. I guess just using all his mana. And
It's a little surprising, though.
met with an impulse, not with a mana. So.
Also, as a heads up, I ran into Nathan before the round started. We were passing each other in the hall. He confirmed it is Nathan Parfait. I double checked. So
Did you find out if he had Parfait this morning, though?
Yeah, that's the
he
real
said
question.
he had Kowal Parfait. That's what he had for Parfait.
What does that even mean?
He said BK Parfait all the way. I don't know what that means. By the way, for dinner, should we hit that same place we did last time?
Yeah, I'm down.
I'm down. Alright, I'll talk Caleb. Okay, so what do we see?
So I thought I saw a Pyroclasm in Nathan's hand. Is that the card I saw?
No, it's a Tormod script.
No, I see that, but it looked. I thought I saw a Pyroclasm. I don't
nope.
see it now.
It's a
I do see a Tormod script, a land tax, a blue card.
Cunning Wish, I think.
Okay.
We got a reader. So Standstill's in play, so Michael's looking to slow things down and at least forcing Nathan to crack that. Do you think Nathan can ever play the just draw go game? The problem is I think Michael gets so much more of an advantage if he's just hitting land drops compared to Nathan.
I think I just would have ran that land tax out.
Yeah.
Whatever it's resolving, at least.
Yeah.
And also drawing 3 every turn is like
If he doesn't break up the combo, he's in trouble.
right.
So chat's asking about the main deck Tormod script. I think part of the reason is one is
It
it's
just
not
wants
a
to be able
huge
to solve whatever.
Yeah, it's not a huge opportunity cost because you have cards like Enlightened Tutor that you can get it and you can put it away with scroll rack and whatnot. But also there are just certain matchups where when things like really go long, like if you play against another guy's blessing deck, then you can find yourself in situations where you can't really win. And I think the idea is Tormod's Crypt is kind of your answer to those decks. I think that's the idea of it.
Wow. Nathan Parfait is way behind. This is rough.
So Nathan's kind of doubling down on not cracking this Landstill or the Standstill.
We don't. Well, he's gonna take a look first. He might yet still, but it's
Went
rough.
4.
I guess Landstill is playing Artifact Enchantment Disruption main, right? There's some.
What's up?
It's playing like Seal of Cleansing, right?
Usually,
Yeah,
disenchant,
usually
yeah,
the-
some amounts.
Or
Yeah.
just
I think he might have a Seal of Cleansing, too.
All right, we do see the land tax getting deployed. That'll.
I'm surprised he played that land instead of Mox Diamonding.
Did he have the opportunity? Oh, there's the Crypt.
So I mean,
Why
I don't know
play
what
the
that
Crypt
play-
there instead of keeping in hand for the?
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, I think like it doesn't.
There might be some Nathan Parfait tech going on, but I'm not sure what it is. Because Landstill doesn't care about the graveyard, right?
Not
Is there
not particularly.
Yeah, not really.
interesting?
I'm trying to think if there's any interactions, but no.
Maybe he's cracking under the pressure. Parfait is a 4 Enlightened Tutor deck.
True.
Somebody asked.
Oh. Gotcha. Well, that's gonna be trouble. No attacks though. Interesting. What do you make of that?
I don't know.
I guess you're worried about your land getting swords, but I don't know. I feel like you'd trade that.
But even still, you're drawing 3 cards.
Yeah,
off that.
under Standstill, I think you'd be okay with that exchange.
That was kind of shocking.
Well, and it's relevant, right? Like
Yeah.
the damage is because Nathan does have another route here, right?
If I'm Nathan, I'm like, what? Draw 4 cards. I'm doing that every turn. I don't know. Like,
Right, exactly. Like you want to like the life is relevant because you're gonna get to a place where Parfait just takes over, right? Like
yeah.
it's drawing 3 cards. It's drawing 4 cards every single turn, and it's getting like bonkers card selection 'cause it can shuffle away what it don't want. Plus,
sure.
it's gonna it has like Nishobi and it can just hardcast that stuff, right? Like it can do the other stuff.
Okay, Nathan found an Armageddon. Pretty sweet.
Let's see, Mox Diamond into Geddon.
No, it looks like he's. I think I would. It seems like a good opportunity to kind of know the shields are down. There's just colorless up.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff we don't get that's happening right now.
What do you mean? What would you do there?
Well, I
Play
guess
something?
did he have access to 4 mana last turn?
So here's another.
No, he didn't. He scroll racked into the Armageddon.
So he didn't have the Mox Diamond in hand. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's
Well, the
another-
Mox Diamond is on top of his deck.
Oh, it's on top of his deck. Gotcha. Here's
Or-
another interesting line: is like doing that in a turn standstill. Michael having to discard those cards is also not irrelevant, right?
Yeah, I'm
Like that's
right. Yeah, he's cracking the Standstill on Michael's turn, and Michael's just gonna probably have to play a land and
But doing
discard.
EOT, right?
No, that was during
he
combat.
did during combat.
Well, that's during combat. Interesting.
Yeah, I would have just taken the damage, I think, and
I thought it was in a turn. My bad.
I guess he'd played a land already, but I don't think he did. Does he just not have a land?
Also, give an opportunity for another standstill. So, getting rid of the impulse. Wow.
Is he discarding 4 cards?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
I think
Landstill's a lot
he
worse.
just didn't draw land off of it.
Wow. Oh yeah, the factory should be exiled.
yeah. Tormod's Crypt will take care of that someday.
Yeah.
I still don't understand the play of the Tormod's Crypt when you got Skullrock out.
Yeah.
Unless was he going to discard the hand size that turn? I don't remember. That might have been it with land tax. Well, anyway, land tax drawing 3, like drawing 3 cards every single turn plus your normal draw step is very good, technically speaking. Is that a collector's edition scroller?
That's a question for BK. Is that a gold border one or a...
I don't know. I don't remember. It quite possibly is.
Okay, so plays a land for a turn. Tapping 2 for something spicy. What do you think this is, Nathan? I mean, Michael.
I was gonna say Oath of Druids, just so it would be the least spicy card ever. Like in that situation, the card that would do the least amount would be Oath of Druids, but
That would be amazing.
or a Silence. That one seems a little bit better than Oath of Druids here.
Interesting. So silence gets the counterspell. Huh. Well, that's
He's getting Sylvan out. Collecting.
that's not Oath of Druids.
He's just collecting artifacts and enchantments for now.
Yeah. I mean, and every single one, like, he's just getting so much advantage at every level here.
Missing that land drop last round was just bonkers. He's drawing like 6 extra cards. He missed the 6th land drop.
Yeah, Landstill drawing 3 is good, but discarding 4, and also losing a land on that exchange from the SG.
He did miss a land drop last turn, right? Maybe I don't know.
I wasn't paying attention, but that's what you
No,
said.
I don't think he did actually. I don't think
Okay,
he did.
maybe
'Cause
I'm
you said
wrong.
he played a land before.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
He's putting the pressure on. I think Michael understands he's the beatdown in this game.
Who's the beatdown, indeed. But again, you know, now Nathan, this is exactly what Nathan Parfait does. This is why he built the deck this way. This is how this is how things this is how things get out of control. And I have to say, props to him for the innovation.
We can't see BK by that. He's smiling ear to ear. That's definitely
This is
What do you think the best thing he did?
I think the two Geddon's main deck is really quite good. Is that normal?
Hmm?
Is that normal for Parfait?
Yeah, everybody does that.
Oh, I thought that seemed like a BK thing to do. Well, whatever. I still like it. I'm still on board. Okay, so now he draws off the Sylvan. Not taking the life. Okay, makes sense. I mean, when you're drawing a Brazilian cards every single turn. One. Nope.
Is there something in particular he's looking for in this situation?
I mean, Geddon's great.
I mean, I think the big thing he wants is like some kind of life gain card, just to like blank the.
Oh wow,
like
that's
the lands.
another Mox Diamond.
I mean, I have to kind of think if I'm in Nathan's position that the first threat that I'm going to play, if it really matters, is going to be countered by like a counterspell. But I'm looking at blue. So if I'm trying to either Swords of Plowshares and attacking Mishra's Factory, I have to think the first one's getting countered. Or if I'm just going to try and go for an Armageddon, that's going to get countered.
Michael's hand has to be stacked with answers to things, just
Yeah.
because like he discarded 4 cards before, like.
Well, except he doesn't have the mana though, right? No matter how many answers he's got, he can only do one thing and attack a turn, right?
I think Cunning Wish for Pyroblast seems awesome, right? Just take your time,
Yeah.
set it up, set up again. It can't be stopped.
This is another land tax.
So are you like? I would think Nathan would pass the turn, then like get attacked one more time, like, and then at the end of turn cast Cunning Wish, and then if Michael does use the counterspell there, then you have like the go ahead to try and resolve a card like Armageddon or
Yeah. Michael doesn't have a lot of blue source. Does not have a lot of blue sources.
That's Well, drawing 3 cards a turn is good. Although, if he swords is here and doesn't play a land, he cannot land tax, right?
It's true.
Sure.
What is this? Is this a land? It might make or break the game.
You have to like ask yourself, do I want to play this land?
Is it worth it?
Something that the Landstill deck is not very used to thinking about. It's like, do I want to make this land drop on turn 6 or something?
Right.
Looks like Michael's holding a Prohibit and a Mana Leak.
Okay.
Wow.
So now he's pumping the brakes and attacking. He was not willing to attack at that spot.
But Nathan's drawing 6 cards this turn.
I feel like you
7
gotta
cards.
attack for 2, and then just have the 2 counterspells up then?
I think so.
Yeah. What do you make of the non-attack? Do you think there's a factor fiction or something?
Well, yeah, either Factor Fiction.
But
That's
what
likely.
cards are you looking to find with Factor Fiction? Are you just looking for more lands? But then I could see that, but like...
Decree.
Okay.
More lands, Decree. You don't want to miss land drops in this. I don't think. Like, okay, he's
Is
gonna
this
go
yours weirding?
for.
No.
I don't think Weirding's good here. Although he does have a scroll rack, so he doesn't really care. It might be good here.
Oh, of course.
Propaganda. All right.
Like,
Not a
wow.
card you think that would like be
Yeah.
good against, like, I guess Decree of Justice you think would be good against, but Propaganda probably wouldn't have been on high on my list of cards to get, but I guess in this situation it does make a lot of sense.
It's a little
pretty
surprising.
great. It's pretty insane here. It also probably means a counterspell, right?
Sure. I mean, it depends on how Michael is like thinking. If he's still trying to beat down, then this is a really important card. If it's not, then maybe it's something that he can use a Seal Cleansing on. I don't. It depends on how he's thinking he's going to win the game. I mean, maybe there's a spot he thinks it's going to go super long. He's going to cast Decree of Justice, and then he's just going to pay 2 for 1 Angel over and over and over and try and deal the damage that way. It depends on kind of what like Michael's thinking how the game is going to shape up.
All right,
Well,
he's gonna
if he
rack
does-
for about 8. A good 8.
It's interesting because Nathan's deck at this point will not run out of threats and will not run out of things to do.
Right.
Michael's will, and that threat density and the answer density is already on a steep decline.
He drew an Ivory Tower, which is probably
Probably GG.
a lot of time, you know.
How can he get over an Ivory Tower?
A decree of justice.
I mean, it's,
I mean,
it's like 7 life a turn, though,
Yeah.
you know.
He's
Or
drawing
9,
7.
honestly.
Right, because he's drawing 7 cards every 6
Yeah,
cards
that's
every
true.
upkeep. Is there an orb in this?
Yeah, there's a Zernor typically.
Golly.
He's thinking about, this is the kind of game we're in. We're tutoring for propagandas. We're considering countering Ivory Towers. This is what control's all about,
This
fellas.
is pre-modern, baby. This is exactly what the format's all about. Wow.
Well, it's kind of a weird control. Like, if a true control mirror, typically Ivory Tower is not a card that even matters.
Well, that's the beauty of pre-modern.
Yeah.
Everything matters, except for that bizarre Tormod's Crypt. But everything else matters. I don't know why the Tormod's Crypt at the table. Maybe he thought it was...
He's mana leaking. The seal.
He might just be
I like
excited to
that.
use Mana Leak.
Well, Seal
on
does
anything.
blow up his artifact, his manland, right?
Yeah.
That's not irrelevant. I like that.
He's playing a 3rd land tax. And he's going to...
I've got 12
Discard-
cards in hand. Still.
Discard a hand. I think he has 8.
8. Just 8.
Golly. This is
This
insane.
deck's a monster. It just... Avalanche is so hard.
We should interview it. Well, either way, after this, we should interview him and ask how he came to the.
How he came up with such a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I feel like to hear that. What do you think about that?
Oh, Seal Cleansing on the white source. Okay,
Ooh.
that is quite
He's-
good.
He's getting...
That's frisky. He's getting frisky with
This
the
is
biscuit.
this is why Nathan Parfait is dangerous, though. Nathan Parfait is playing all these highly defensive cards, saying your lands won't work, and he's making Michael DeGrave go even more aggressive.
Right.
Now watch what happens when he untaps and
Yep.
pulls the trigger on that Armageddon.
Bang, bang, bang in the chicken wing.
So Nathan did take 4, right?
4.
Okay, the light totals haven't moved from their perspective, so.
This is so painful to watch. Golly. Ugh.
He skillfully finds 6 lands every time.
Well, only 6, not 9, though. So.
Oh, I
Nice
guess
lob-
he read out.
nice lob
Nice
contour.
3rd land tax.
Oh.
Jeez.
You could still get the 6 and then
Right.
scroll rack and then
Scroll rack
shuffle.
and the-
So
yeah.
the 3rd one still can shuffle.
That's true.
And you still could get more lands then.
Yeah, maybe you
That's
should have scroll rack between activations of land tax.
If you're not drawing 10 cards a
Well,
turn,
there's the
now you're
weirding.
actually-
So
yeah.
I think scroll rack's one of those cards where you just kind of have to accept that you're not gonna play with it perfectly, because otherwise you just put way too much mental thought into like what is the best way to do this.
I'm
I
pretty
agree
sure-
with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't...
Well, it also might not be perfect to do it in between draws right there, right?
No.
There might be a reason why after you see the card from Sylvan you'd want it, or after this takes... Wait, what's
This
6
6
mana?
mana?
For the creature? Oh, for
That's what I'm getting.
getting
He's floating mana, I guess.
mana? Okay.
Yeah.
This is...
That's,
That's the hammer dropping.
that's game.
Can you go confirm if he actually took 4 damage from those Mistress Factories?
Yeah, just let him know Nathan's at 6.
I mean, unless I misunderstood what happened. But
Oh, now he's cracking the... Okay, that's just insult to injury.
there we go. That Mistress Factory finally got exiled from that source Plowshares.
Game state restored.
All right, and now he chose to play an Oath of Druids with his floating mana. I don't think that's very problematic for Michael, but Armageddon is a bit of an issue.
Discards the propaganda that he
Tutored
tutored
for.
for.
All right, so land tax not triggering. Okay, they
Yep.
Okay. Cool. So
Well, the good news is he's not able to draw 10 cards a turn.
Yeah.
So there's that.
That's solved.
but at this point, if nothing changed, Nathan, well, first of all, he could just prevent himself from decking because of Scroll Rack.
Well, he also has the Gaze Blessing.
Like,
He can't be ducked. He also has Gad's Blessing.
Yep. Do I see Azur's waiting? Can we get that one into play?
Oh, he's got Ivory Tower.
All right, that might just be enough.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Michael can recover from Armageddon, make enough tokens
No.
to really threaten Nathan in time.
No, and also you lost 6 of your best creatures, or 3 of your best creatures there. Like, this is GG's. This is
Also, Nathan could just stop playing lands, right? Like, I don't even know if he should have played
right,
one
if he
last
wants
turn.
to, yeah.
So if Michael's going into game 2, like, is there a way, can you just like target the scroll racks and like kind of take away that aspect and be okay, you can have your
Yeah.
other enchantments and
Well-
kind of take away that engine?
Well,
Do you go for
one of the more ingenious things about Nathan's version of the deck, though, is that he's leaned more into the Sylvan Library aspect of it. So, like,
Right.
should they break up his?
You're basically doing the same thing, yeah, exactly.
Oh, he's basically doing the same
Cunning
thing.
Wish?
I would hate to take credit for.
Wait, can we just note
anything.
Cunning Wish was cast? Did you see what was found?
Fire West.
Brain freeze.
freeze?
We have a brain freeze in the house. so
My.
I don't know
That's
why
a
would you
great
do
win,
that.
Con.
we've got a clock. Cast some Mox Diamonds or something and then just brain freeze them all.
I don't. No. Well, it's like Landstill. It's like, hey, Standstill's pretty good. How about if I do that every single turn for 1 mana? How about if I do it every single turn? Like,
Is this one getting
3
Pyroblast?
times.
Now we got the Pyroblast. So you were just looking to the future.
Yeah.
Oracle BK.
we need. At this point, we need. What could Landstill do to win? I don't know what options there are at this point.
Is he ever going to cast a Service Ring?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Interesting. Keeps the swords to plowshares. Fascinating. Where are the Gaze Blessings? That's what I want to know.
They're hiding out at the bottom, I guess.
Not needed.
Yeah.
Wow. Mox Diamond's so good. Showing its metal here. And also the fact that Mox Diamond, a land, justified blowing it up with the Seal Cleansing.
hmm
Like, Seal Cleansing is so important in this matchup. But basically just blowing up a land with it, right? Although it's more than a land. It does so much work. Yeah, that's a good point. Does the deck just brain freeze itself to get everything shuffled back in?
I mean, in certain situations you might want to do that, but I think most of the time the
I
brain
don't.
freeze was.
I don't think I would raid freeze myself.
Oh my. Okay, so it goes up to 15. Okay, so we're up to 15 to 23.
18.
Oh no.
Or 18, sorry. And,
Just to make sure.
So will Nathan cast a creature, or is he just going to win with decking?
I think he's going to win with decking.
Okay.
I like casting the creature so that you can oath your opponent.
What if you have an opportunity to get a Neshoba Azur's Weirding lock going? Do you think you might kind of lean into that game plan?
The hard lock, you mean?
Yeah, that is a hard lock.
Maybe. It's kind of it's you're a little more at risk against this deck because they do have Source of Plowshares. They have ways out of the hard lock.
All right. I don't think Michael
there's
has
the-
access to Stifle, especially not in the main. I don't know if he has anything like that in the sideboard, but even
You
if
just-
you do get your Brain Freeze like stifled, you might just be able to cast Guy's Blessing and get it back and loop stuff. But I think this is a game where it's like it's going to go on for for a lot more turns, but
Yeah,
it feels like Nathan has everything under control. Oh, the hard lock we were talking about is your life linking Nishoba.
if you have a Phantom Shoba and a Zer's Weirding at the same time, you can attack them and gain 7 life every turn, and then you can easily pay the two life every turn,
Yeah, you
so
never
that they
heard of
don't
Shoba
forget to
Lock?
draw their card. It's a famous lock
Famous
mechanism.
lock.
Yeah. It's classic. It's a classic Nathan Parfait line.
Yeah, like maybe if your opponent's at like 10 billion life, then it's the hard lock. Wrath of God was discarded. Don't think that one needs to be cast. As Nathan goes up to 27.
Golly.
The life totals are pretty irrelevant at this point. Is there any angle that like Michael could take? Like, can he ever build up like enough mana to just counter Armageddon, Guy's Blessing?
Maybe, I don't know. I don't think so.
Well, now the hands are revealed if this resolves.
Yeah, that's gonna be problematic. So we do have the zeros weirding on the stack. This has to be something Michael has to fight over, right? Nope.
Yeah, he's just skipping to it.
Yeah.
All right.
He did have counterspells, man, but not worth
It's
it.
almost like there was a Phantom Nishoba already in play.
There was a Ivory Tower, which works similarly to a Phantom Shoba in
That
play.
is true. All right. Do we have our sideboards? Our matchup's going to change drastically in any way, or are we going to see more of the same?
I would guess more of the same. Like, so out of Nathan Parfait, we see probably an Order of Silence come in, maybe an Engineered Plague. I'd mind that, just to stop soldiers from ever.
Well, you can't Cunning Wish for it, so.
Yeah, we found that out. A Duress. He's got those 3.
All right.
Those are good. Let's look at. He probably takes the Oaths out. I would guess.
Sure.
And then on this is Monterey Ponte.
I did see a Tormod script coming in for Michael, so that seems much better against Nathan than it
Yeah,
does
I think
against
it's better
Michael.
for
So.
him than his opponent. Although I like it. I like that I liked. So it's interesting. You think about the beginning of that game.
Michael's
Nathan
probably
was so far behind for so long, and still just it wasn't even close. And he had a dead card like Tormod's Crypt, and it did not matter.
Michael's got a lot of weapons here. He's got 2 Phyrexian Furnace, which I would bring in.
Yep.
A Tormod Crypt, which I probably wouldn't bring in,
I think he was looking at it.
but I would consider it. He has 3 Annuls. He has an Enlightened Tutor. He has a Seal of Cleansing, a Disenchant, and that's it.
So
He's got 4 Hydroblasts and 2 Copperheads too,
All right,
but obviously
so
those aren't coming
what
in.
cards are you looking to take out? Is it just all the creature removals, the Wrath of Gods, and Swords of Plowshares?
Yeah, Source of Plowshare is pretty blank. Wrath of God,
It's even worse, yeah.
yeah. So those are the first ones in the chopping block. Humility, not good.
Did we have our top 8 bracket? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Michael ends up with a lot of anti-artifact enchantment in his deck.
Yeah, it almost seems like, I mean, like, it might seem like he has some cards that are kind of hard to cut because he has so many cards to bring in.
Well, the big ones are the the Disenchant, the Seal, the Annuls, and the Furnaces, I think. I don't know if he. Do you think he wants the Enlightened Tutor? I kind of don't. That'll be.
It just gets like a seal of cleansing, right? I think
Yeah.
it's more of like when humility is really good and you just want a second copy of that kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's also interesting. Another nice thing about Parfait Oath, running 4 land taxes means sometimes you get to be on the draw and just have a turn 1 land tax, which is huge. It's like, again, basically Landstill every single time. Yeah, this deck's great. I'm glad to see it made it. Okay, here we go. Land's still on the play.
I'm seeing Mishra's Factory Mana Leak is at a degree on top. We do see the Wonder S. I saw that in Nathan's hand.
I don't think Nathan has any lands.
Wait, was that a Tormod's Crypt in his hand?
It was.
Why is Tormod's Crypt in?
I don't know.
Michael?
I can't think of a reason. It seems like one of the cards that I would cut first. So
Yeah.
Well, it is good with Scroll Rack.
A lot of times with a deck like this,
hard.
it's hard to come up with all
Yeah.
the cards.
Yeah,
like you'll miss a single
yeah,
thing
you're
here
like,
and there. Yeah.
yeah, you're like standing through your deck, or I can understand that. Yeah.
But it is good with Skull Rack. It's a combo with Skull Rack. It's in his hand again.
Yeah.
It's also good for mulligans.
Yeah.
Because
Card to put on bottom.
you don't have to think about it. Just
We do see a Zurin Orb.
there's a zero. No, maybe that's what I saw.
All right, that one has a lot more
Yeah,
applications.
that seems more relevant. Don't
Two-
put that on the bottom.
2 Armageddons
Two,
is a
two's
lot.
Two's all you need.
Yeah.
That's all of them.
Oh, he's going back again.
Doesn't like it. Yeah.
Well,
5
the
cards.
nice thing is it also on mulligans really well because if you just draw land tax,
Yeah, I think he's just going for land tax to start,
you're good to go.
which might be a mistake
Why?
Because there's so many.
because
I mean,
there's so much anti-artifact and
you,
enchantment.
you
in
can't
Flooded
really
Strand.
fault Nathan for that because like he doesn't know Michael's list. He doesn't know that there's a bunch of annuls and like disenchantments,
Yeah,
field cleanse. He
yeah.
doesn't know like how much like cards are being brought in.
That's
So,
interesting. This was not a top 8 where the deck lists were shared.
Correct.
So that does affect strategy. and
Yeah, a lot of times like when I'm in the booth, I just assume that the players have perfect information, and that's not something that ever happens. So, well, not. I mean, doesn't usually happen. So, can't always make like this omniscient play because you know how your opponent's sideboarding. So, we'll still tower on turn 1. So no one null available.
Plowshares came out before Tormod's Crypt, but Plowshares are relevant against the manlands, right?
Yeah.
And it is good against Felden's Cane. That's true.
But if you're in doubt, you'd probably leave it in. You know, like,
I don't.
maybe it'll.
I don't
be-
think blue white usually plays Felden's Cane. So
But if it
if it did,
he doesn't have
You
perfect
never
information.
know.
yeah.
But you never know.
Sela Cleansing is what Nathan has, so he's insulated against the Mishra beatdown.
But tough with a double mulligan. Does not want to run into his counterspell, so does not play it there. I like it. I like that line.
We do see a Sylvan Library that was drawn, so that if this stays in play, that's a good way to kind of undo a mulligan. Looks like he's not.
Interesting. Doesn't play anything there.
I like that.
Yeah, if you're expecting counterspells out of Michael, sometimes you might want to wait until, like, if he's not pressuring you, wait till you can play multiple spells in one turn.
If I were Nathan, I think I might have played the Ivory Tower there. See if
Test
it
the waters.
does anything. You know.
Okay. Phyrexian Furnace, that is the card. So this, especially when it stays in play for a long time, might cause like issues for Nathan's game plan.
Yeah.
It kind of makes like the sort or the threats feel a lot more vulnerable because you don't have like Gaia's Blessing to bring them back.
Does
He's gonna
have
run the Ivory Tower out.
does have a way to kill it on the table, but in response, Michael can just draw a card off it.
He is countering.
And
Yeah, Ivory
Nathan
Tower.
does not counter back, interestingly enough, even though he does have the Pyroblast. Instead plays the other tower. Interesting, because he's trying to debate all the counter spells. I like that line. Ivory Tower is not the end-all be-all right here. Although now he can seal Cleansing if he wants. He can cleanly seal that away, and he might want to.
Okay.
I actually don't think that's terrible right here, right?
When he can't sack it for a card, it might be right.
Right, when he can't sack it for a card.
I think he's more interested in stopping
A standstill?
a standstill.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. All right, so
He does have a standstill in play. I think he wants Nathan to kill the furnace.
Just gonna tap out, take the mana burn, and pass turn.
He's like hoping to get the seal, tempt him into using the seal so he can have his standstill.
Yeah, I guess from Michael's position, he would not be unhappy if the furnace like went away so that he could play a.
Oh, never mind.
I think I might
Probably giving up the hunt here.
Wow.
I would you have used that on the Mox Diamond right
Oh
away?
yeah, for sure.
Well, the
Maybe.
Mox
you can look
Diamond-
at it two ways because like Nathan's not doing anything right now, but also Michael's not pressuring really in any way.
Mhm.
So the game's gonna go on forever. So eventually Nathan's gonna hit land drops. Like if he just resolves a land tax, then he has access to a bunch of mana. But yeah, I don't know. I'd be tempted to use the seal right there.
would as well. Especially given that, yeah, double mull and the colored mana. So that's the other thing is that
It's all whether you want to draw 3 cards or not. What's better, stone running your opponent and drawing 3 cards?
it's true.
It depends on the situation.
It does.
Ancestral Recall only costs 1. Stone Ring costs 3.
He is killing the Mox.
All right.
But not attack with the Mishra's Factory. Huh.
Yeah, I think like if he's willing, if he kind of wants to draw, that'd be a good way to just get the seal off with the Mishra's Factory, kind of tempt him that way.
Yeah. I think if I were Nathan, I would have played Sylvan Library last turn. But, like just because he might not be able to cast it.
Oh wow. Ooh, that hurts.
He's kind of
Ooh.
scroll rack locked, right? He doesn't
Yep.
he doesn't have any lands or anything to shuffle for a while.
Yeah, so describe
I'm
that.
surprised he didn't scroll rack his hand away.
Yeah, typically we see that with Brainstorm and Legacy, but it looks like here our pre-modern version is with the scroll rack. Yeah. All right, so Decree of Justice puts a clock in play.
Yep.
So this will
Not a bad clock.
Yeah.
17.
Great, playing a very beatdown style Landstill.
well at this point like you only need to counter a few. There's only a few spells you really need to counter, right? With 3 1/1s in play, you can just
Yeah, 6 more hits. That's it.
attack.
Attack it, attack it. Although again, I would be tempted to try and get the. Okay, there we go. Yeah, again, I still would have been tempted to
All
try
right,
to hit with
a
the
null. A null is cast on the land tax.
Oh, that should be all she wrote. I would have been tempted to swing with the Mishra his last turn, and if he did, goes to 15. That's 3 turn clock instead of 4.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would have racked deep there. Try to get another land.
It's pretty tough for Nathan in any spot. Like a lot of things have to go for right for him to get out of this situation.
But one of them's probably hitting land drops, right?
So the beatdown continues. Nathan, I don't even know what he's looking for at this point.
Hello.
Are you looking for Zura's rating? Is that what you're looking for?
Because we found it.
Yeah, if you get rid of the scroll rack in that position kind of thing, like when you're kind of locked, does that just kind of like clean up the game? All right, more land tax.
Gonna get a counterspell.
The shields are down. I don't think Nathan can punish him though. So
Looking rough.
Mishra's Factory will get. Oh no, we're deploying another standstill. Okay, and then yeah, is the factory getting in this turn? I guess it depends on how many counter spells are in your hand.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. Yeah, he's a stay. Gonna attack for 3 here.
I guess. Swords to Plowshares targeting a soldier token.
Kill your soldier, you draw 3 cards.
Do you counter this? No. I was saying. Oh. And it, now it just maybe makes you use your Mishra's Factory to attack. But
Yeah.
is that
That's to the Pyroblast.
Pyroblast? I mean, well, not enough because it doesn't have anything to protect. So we have A disenchant targeting the Mox Diamond. We got the chicken plate coming in.
Hmm?
The
The chicken plate.
yeah.
He's gonna impulse for a counterspell, it looks like.
Yeah, Michael's definitely feeling really safe in the spot. Like,
Yeah, it's looking pretty good for him.
there'll just be a number of turns before Michael deals lethal damage to Nathan, and I think we're gonna be going to a third game for this match.
Standstill, number 3, 4.
I don't even know. It's at least 3. That's enough for Nathan. All right, so I mean, I think the mulligan obviously had a big thing to deal with it, but
Yeah.
also in a post cyborg game, Michael has a lot more tools to fight it. None of it is like a
Yeah.
huge haymaker. It's just like he just has removal
So-
spells. It's instead of like having creature removal spells, he just has enchantment removal spells.
Instead of 8 irrelevant cards, he has 8 super relevant cards. It's like it's like night and day, probably.
Yeah. Would you say that in a post board game that Michael is advantaged? Do you
I think so.
Okay,
Yeah, I think I think it's rough for Parfait afterward if they have this much anti-artifact enchantment.
Yeah.
Because he literally, yeah, I don't know. He literally has like 7
Seven cards
things
you brought in.
that
Yeah.
7 cards in his deck that kill an artifact or enchantment.
Okay.
If you count a null as one, which I do.
Yep.
And that's going to be rough against a deck that counts on nothing but artifacts and enchantments.
All right. So what kind of sequence of like a Sylvan Library you think, or just like the Land Tax Scroll Rack if that gets online right away? Do you think that's kind of what Nathan needs?
Land tax is the first thing. Sticking a land tax is huge, but like I said, that's the big hole for Nathan is like he needs to stick a land tax early to do something, and Michael's deck has so many ways to keep him from doing that now. And it's not a heavy. It doesn't play a lot of mana sources,
Okay.
and it plays Mox Diamonds, which he can. You saw that game where he just like gets 2 for 1 all the time, and can't. I don't know. It's rough.
Yeah, and
I
even
think
even if like a lot of the decks at times it's counter spells that are answering like a land tax, and obviously land tax is 1 mana, but when there are so many like disenchant type effects, then Nathan might not be able to trigger his land tax, and then you're kind of looking at a hand that was really relying on the land tax triggering, and then things get awkward. Ooh.
I think he should always be able to trigger his land tax.
I don't think there are
I think it's
any...
an archaeological dig in his
Oh.
opening draw.
Oh, well, okay. That seems like a situation to cast that land tax. Seems good.
This might be just what the doctor ordered. What do you do here, Michael?
You erase that.
Yeah.
Play erase. That
He's
was
just discarding. He's not playing a land.
interesting. This is an interesting...
All right,
Standstill that we're in.
this is kind of magic here.
This is types like games like that. You're using parts of your brain that you don't usually like. How? When do you play a land? When do you pull the trigger here? Who's gonna blink first? I think this sequence is good for Nathan.
I think so too. Yeah, I think this is what Nathan wants and not what Michael wants.
Part of the problem is like the Landstill deck wants a bunch of lands in play, but it can only play 1 land a turn. Nathan at least has the ability to kind of jumpstart things with a card like Mox Diamond. And also Nathan doesn't need as much mana to operate as Michael does. What turn will the next land be played? That is what we should be...
Well, I mean, Nathan's gonna eventually get to his Mox Diamond.
That's true. So whatever the next land will, but then he won't be playing. He won't be playing a land still.
He's up 3. He's up a card, or he's up 2 cards. I guess 1 card, since he had to sack his dig. Michael has no idea that Nathan has no other lands too. All right, so he's gonna get a Mox Diamond in play, and now he can
Start enlightening tutoring.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean, I don't even know what you would want in this spot.
I think you get another Mox Diamond, right?
I think I might wait to
Like
draw a land.
he's
first.
doing nothing, right?
I might.
And if he does anything, you're off to the races, right?
I mean, I would wait. Because you might just draw the Mox Diamond naturally. So I would wait to either draw the land, and then I would do it. Because if Michael's not playing lands, then it doesn't really matter when you do it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it could be interesting. It says Michael will play an island once he gets in a null. That is.
He could get a
reasonable.
second land tax because then like Michael can't,
I don't know.
Michael can't kill his land.
Sure.
Land
Okay,
tax
I thought you meant like
legend,
the other trigger would have been more beneficial. But yeah, that makes sense then.
Because that's like job one is just having the tax. He's going for every tower. I don't know if I like that. I would prefer Zerran Orb there. Right? Because then he can play a land and
but you don't have to like use your lands to. I mean, I guess you would if there's two. I guess it depends on how. I guess yeah, because you could cast a card like Scroll Rack and then sack a land and then use it the next turn.
Yeah, like he has a Sylvan Library in his hand, so if he draws a land, if he has Zerran Orb, he can safely play.
Oh my.
Yeah,
he could safely play Sylvan Library.
What's going on here?
We have had players a turn one land tax.
Oh, he just drew Undiscovered Paradise.
And then
That's
no one has played a land
huge.
for, like,
Look at that.
Wow, that is bonkers. GG's live.
All right, so
now we get to
It
tax.
begins.
kind of an interesting spot of when Michael wanted to play like that land.
Well, I think
I mean, I guess the Sylvan Library.
once he gets a Sylvan to play, he has
Yeah.
to, right? Because he can't just sit there and let Nathan's like
three
pay
cards.
8 life and
Yeah,
like
I
get his ivory tower going, and it's just like
I guess he just doesn't have.
it becomes kind of a howling mine.
He doesn't have an
with the
annul.
life.
I'm just
6
surprised.
one
It's
way,
like,
half a dozen the other.
Yeah,
surprised it's a tapped Faerie Conclave, I guess.
Why? As opposed to something that could
because
annul?
they have an
but,
annul.
I mean, he probably just didn't find it in the first however many turns we are at.
he just Sylvan and there were 3 points on top.
You still pay the life, right? No.
Oh, I think I play a land there just like so he like a non-undiscovered paradise.
Oh no. This is more over than Red October. Trigger. First we get the land, then we get the life.
You got LobsterCon in the house. The LobsterCon Forest.
LobsterCon Forest.
Yep. Lobsters swinging from the trees.
The LobsterCon plains and islands I have are still in my
and
this girl deck.
okay. So, I was gonna ask where are those ones, but
You didn't get any Lobster lands?
I did not. And
Okay.
They're treasured parts
Wait.
of my collection now.
Wait a second. Can he trigger it so Sylvan happens?
Sylvans are in the draw step.
Oh, it is your draw. You're right. You check. That Tormod's Crypt still doing work. Still doing work. The Tormod's Crypt is also good with Sylvan because you can put it back.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Also, he's up to 32. If you're up to 32 in the life, why not pay the 8, right?
Because you're just gonna discard is probably the reason. But
I see little way that Nathan doesn't force an Armageddon through now at some point
yeah,
to knock him right out.
I mean he's really just looking for Mox Diamonds at this point, right?
Right.
Cards that would stay in play after an Armageddon.
Yeah.
We did see an
He has an
Orange
Orange
Chain.
Jant, that's pretty good.
Orange Chain and a Pyroblast.
Do you think he boarded his Cutting Wishes out?
No, I saw them.
You definitely keep the Tormod's Crypt, and I'm not sure about the Wish. Another. That's gonna get countered.
Maybe. It's it.
Oh wait. What's this?
He's discarding for this hand size.
Yeah, but
How many cards does he have?
he almost wait. Oh no, he kept it. Okay.
Okay, those are the cards he discarded.
Oh.
I thought
I thought
I
he
thought
was
it was
going to
keeping.
discard the Tormod's Crypt.
I thought he was
He
going to
kept it,
discard
okay.
7 cards.
It's on top of his deck.
No, it's in his hand.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
I think it is in his hand.
You don't want Tormod's Crypt on top of your deck. What if something happens? Keep it in your hand. You just don't play it.
And I mean, at this point,
Even if you're discarding.
You only have one land tax.
yeah.
Two. If you're discarding, you still don't get rid of the Crypt because they might have a disenchanter and null or something. 38.
So I think Nathan's just looking for Mox Diamonds, and then is going to Armageddon with like Orm's Chant and Pyroblast back up,
Yeah.
and then kind of undo the work that Michael's done playing lands.
Can we pull up Orv's Chant?
Yeah.
Kind of like Abeyance.
Yes. Did people get excited about this card when it was like previewed? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Okay.
People were still really even more excited about it when they printed It's a Ground Scepter.
Yeah.
I've never been a big fan.
Scepter Chant.
I like that deck. I mean, it's maybe not good for it
When,
to exist, but I think it's good.
When I played Ice Ground Scepter a bunch, and I never played Orbs Chat in it. I just always played like
Boomerang.
I played like Tog with
Oh, okay.
Ice Ground Scepter and Fire Ices. And
Okay. Did that Tog deck play Boomerang? I feel like Boomerang under a Ice Ground Scepter seems great.
Yeah, it did sometimes. It could. I used to like putting Counterspell on it. Most people didn't like doing that, but I always thought it was pretty gross.
All right, so here, I mean, it's just a matter of time before. I mean, does Michael have a route? Like, what is his game plan from this position? Because he's just getting buried in card advantage, card quality, in every aspect.
Yeah,
Abundance
How
is
does
the card
Abundance
that's.
work with Sylvan Library?
it's a replacement effect to the card draw, and
Therefore,
you don't have to put any cards back because
And?
you didn't draw any extra cards.
and
So you just get to draw 3 of your
whatever
choice.
you want.
Yeah, land or non-land.
The old Abundance Sylvan combo. Why isn't Abundance in more cubes? That's a good cube card.
Okay, we have a Seal of Cleansing now.
Well, if Michael's going to claw his way back to relevance,
Surprisingly, he does not Seal of Cleansing the land tax.
That's only 3 cards. It's only Ancestral Recall. It's not like.
I mean,
it's not Crypt or anything.
The problem is like when you have so many cards, you kind of have to think that like Nathan's holding onto like a backup scroll rack or like. I mean,
Yeah, I guess at this point he's worried about he's got to be worried about Zer's weirding, right?
Yeah.
Because if Zer's weirding comes down, he can't win, right?
If someone doesn't set the table on fire, you
Yeah,
can't win.
yeah.
Like, even
Nathan's at the 50 life.
right. Even the life gain.
Like, even if he kills his combo, he can still just draw 3 cards a turn of Sylvan pretty
Right.
easily.
all right, 3 mana, Aura of Silence. I'm trying to think of the 3 mana spells.
How would he tap like that for it?
Propaganda.
Okay.
Oh, for the propaganda.
That's not nothing. I mean, I guess Michael's one saving grace is this. He's eating the graveyard.
I think Nathan's not. It's just like he's just trying to show him that he has no win. That Michael has no way to win. You know, he's like
He can win. He can deck him.
Michael.
Yeah.
Now with a scroll I can play.
Him.
Yeah, he can get rid of Scrog eventually.
He can.
He's got Seal Cleansing. He can deck him. He can win. Discards the second Sylvan, even with the Abundance down. Wait, is Abundance on the table? Is that removed from the game?
The abundance got discarded. That's when Michael looked at it, I believe.
Aha.
I wish this deck played a spellbook. I think Adrian had a stasis list that had spellbook and Ivory
Yeah,
Tower.
last time he played that.
Spellbook would probably be better than Tormod's Crypt in this position.
Yeah.
Ivory Tower is so strong, and I don't think people will give it enough credit in this format,
Reverse Black Vice.
especially in multiples.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, chat's pointing out that it's painful for Nathan not to draw any Mox Diamonds at this.
That's
Yeah,
true.
I
he
mean,
just finally got one.
There we go.
he's
Right
been-
on time.
looking and looking, and they've just been avoiding it, so...
Although Nathan plays the land here.
I think Nathan probably Armageddon's. Well, I might have
Angel
Armageddon
play.
there.
Well, now it's got to be the Angel beatdown.
I guess he's worried that. Well, no, he really didn't need to play that. I don't
Not with
think.
the propaganda in play.
Not with the propaganda play. But I guess he can kill it with the seal.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe 3 soldiers could outrun 2 every tower. So what do you guys think?
He's only at 62.
Yeah.
Yeah, the soldiers might catch up before
It could be a thing
before
where
he
he's like
gets back in
waiting.
it.
Well, I was
Good
thinking,
propaganda.
I guess because if he has Pyroblast and Orm's Chant and Armageddon, I think like that's pretty safe against the assembly worker. So we're just
Oh,
minimizing the
Oh, Assembler, not
potency
even
of-
Faerie. I like it.
not even soldier.
Well, it's 62 life. A 2/2 assembly worker could still get there, but a 1/1, not gonna happen.
Pieces are coming. The puzzle is being put together.
Yeah. The Pons is being cooked. The Pons is being fried.
It's been dropped into the oil, is sizzling in the
You
grease.
can smell the Pons in the air. Oh man, this is rough.
the world is just kind of Nathan's oyster. I think at this point he can kind of just
You go for orb, right? Oh, you go. Okay, there
you
you
can
go.
do whatever you want. I'm waiting for this Armageddon. That's what an Orm's Chant and a Pyroblast and a Armageddon. That's what I'm looking for.
To attack with a 1/1, Michael has to tap 4 lands.
Now this would be a great spot for obliterate, or even just
Up to 68.
Oh yeah.
Rich Shea was playing against the Devourer deck at LobsterCon, and
This was in the quarterfinals. Yeah,
in the
that you talked about,
quarterfinals, and he could only fling the deck could not actually fling for enough damage
yeah.
to kill him.
He was 1 point short.
Yes.
It was like 64 damage, and I think Rich was at 65.
that's through Ivory Tower.
Yeah.
That's bonkers.
All right, we're getting Orm's Chant. So
Okay.
this is the pivotal turn.
Well,
this is what
this
Nathan's
might
been
be
building
all
up
she
to.
wrote.
I'm guessing this is going to meet a counterspell. Then we're going to have a Pyroblast.
Can we
And-
pull Arm's Chant up again?
Yeah.
If it resolves, he can't cast spells.
Yeah.
Right.
This
So-
turn. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And the Pyroblast. And that is game. Set match.
Nathan's gonna lose 3 lands.
All right. I mean, it's. Would you pack it up here, or would you stick it out? I mean,
I mean,
I'd keep playing. I'd keep
Never,
playing.
never say die.
I'd never say that. I would keep playing if I were Michael. So
He's looking at the graveyard. Technically, he can still win by decking.
we're gonna get to a point where Nathan's able to cast like, because there's still a Guy's Blessing.
Once his weirding shows up,
There's only one
it's-
Guy's
There's
Blessing
only
though,
one
right?
guy's blessing.
All right.
Yeah,
He can still
but he can brain freeze into his graveyard if he has to.
Wait, what?
He can brain freeze his own guy's blessing into his graveyard and reshuffle.
Yeah. True. Although
He's got to do that like sooner than later, because each
How
turn,
many cards?
a card goes away because of.
All right, he's
Phyrexian
paying
Furnace.
some life with Sylvan Library.
I like it.
He's got some.
The other draw engine.
Okay, now you blow up the furnace. Now you blow up the furnace. Okay, blow it up. And that's game.
Yeah, why? Why even?
Sylvan Library's gone. All right.
Bye, Sylvan.
Cunning Wish, Brain Freeze. We got a
Yep.
Brain Freeze.
We got brain freeze.
One Gaze Blessing has already been removed with Phyrexian Furnace.
It's true.
We can win by decking, except Nathan just cast Brave Freeze. He could have won.
All right.
Okay.
So
All right,
Parfait Oath.
Nathan is on the way to the finals with
Nathan
Parfait Oath.
Parfait.
And I can only imagine that other match is over by now.
Yeah, it was
It's Stompy Goblins.
Stomping against Goblins. I didn't check, but they
But they're
also,
still grinding it
they
out.
also started before this.
I would
so-
love to see them still grinding it out.
All right, we're going to take a quick break while we get things set up for the finals, but we are going to be back soon with our last match of the day, and we're going to crown our champion for our second Premodern tournament at Misty Mountain.
That's right.
So thanks
yeah.
everyone for watching, but we will be back shortly.
Nuck if you buck.